Welcome to Always Moving Forward with Renee.
Moving forward.
Happy Sunday to all. Today is the day that the Lord has made. Be glad and rejoice in it. Welcome to Always Moving Forward with Renee and friends. My co-host and friends are Lenore on this end and Jackie on the other. Our topic today is more valuable than material things. Proverbs 16th chapter, 16th verse says that having wisdom and understanding is better than having silver and gold. Yes, our topic today, education with a purpose for the upcoming school year. Being prepared. And that's what we want each and every one of our students to be. Am I correct?
Yes. Oh, yes.
We want them to be prepared when they walk in that school on the first day. But before we get started, let's give a shout out to our sponsors. Speed Flow Investment Club, where you can invest a small amount of $20 and you can reach financial security. They can be reached at 248-721-1256. And also United Success Network, the world's first and only social network. And their phone number is 313-282-4455. Let them know you heard it right here on Always Moving Forward. We cannot forget Mr. Antoine Bell, CEO of Bell Global Network. He makes it possible for us to be with you each and every Sunday. Luke 6th chapter, 40th verse says, "The student is not above the teacher, but everyone who is fully trained will be like the teacher."
Amen.
All right. Our guests today come with a wealth of knowledge in public education. When we decided to have this segment on Back to School, these ladies came to mind. I hope each and every one of you, 3 ladies, had a relaxing, restful summer because you deserve it. Okay, let's give these teachers a hand. But let's introduce them. Right here we have Sharon Dennis, who is a native Detroiter and retired Detroit Public Schools Community District Administrator, serving as a specialist, assistant principal, and principal with 32 years in the district. Last year, she rehired after being retired for 8 years. Sharon saw the need after being out for 8 years that she needed to go back and help our young people. Presently, she is filling one of the many vacancies plaguing our educational system as a math teacher at Cody High School. She is using a Master's of Mathematics degree she earned over 30 years ago from U of D Mercy. She reminds her students that education is something that cannot be taken from you. Once you learn that, you got it. You got it, it's yours, and no one can take it from you. Her other 3 educational credentials include a Bachelor's of Science in Secondary Education, Social Studies, a Master's in Educational Leadership, an Education Specialist in Educational Administration. Wow, that's a tongue twister there, wouldn't you say? She is a licensed life insurance agent and notary public. Wait a minute, I said that wrong. Notary public. Sharon believes that every child can learn and is worthy of an education. Now, this is Sharon Dennis. Raise your hand, Sharon. Show them that you're here. Then we have Lakia Wilson, who hails from Detroit as well. Miss Wilson attended Eastern Michigan University, where she received her bachelor's degree in elementary science education and a master's from Oakland University in counseling. Lakia has 20 plus years of service with the school district. For the past 16 years, she has served as a school counselor at Spain School. Miss Wilson is a very active member of the Detroit Federation of Teachers, going from building representative to vice president of the union. She was instrumental in sparking the attention of the Ellen DeGeneres Show, where Spain School received the largest donation to the U.S. schools ever of over $500,000. $500,000. You know, you can help me get some donations. She has served on several committees and has been featured on several media outlets. To just name a few: the New York Times, CNN, TMZ, and now on Always Moving Forward with Renee and Friends show. Lakia's motto is children don't fail, adults fail children. We also have another teacher with us, Lonnie Smith, and she's from DPS as well. But Jackie, would you introduce Lottie?
Okay, Lottie Smith. She's an art teacher with Detroit Public Schools - Detroit Community Public Schools, the new. So she's been teaching. Wow, how long have you been teaching?
21 years.
Okay, she's been a while. I've been around 20 years for DPS, so she came in. And she also she went to Western
Western College?
Western College, University up in, where you was studying dance, Kalamazoo, where she was studying.
Also.
She was studying dance. She's a fantastic art teacher. And not only does she teach art, but she goes out into the community and she works with a lot of churches when they're doing plays, and she makes the backdrop for plays. And she's amazingly well at getting her students to participate in the activities that she does with them. And when she demonstrates or when she's talking to her students, she like really gets into it, and maybe we might get a chance to see when she talk about some of the things that she learned as an artist, okay? But she's a remarkable teacher, and she's been around for years, and she involved herself in the community. She's one of those persons, if you call and say, hey, I need this, or can you help me with this, then she will come aboard. So that's what I have to say about Lottie. Her students, they have participated in Detroit DIA, Detroit Public Schools art exhibit that we have every year for 76 now, 76 or 78 years it's been around. So, I can keep talking, and she said to help
you
too.
know what? You see, we have a wealth of knowledge here. The educators who are still working, and then you have two retirees, Jackie and also myself. But, I take my hat off to each and every one of you.
But I'm not retired. I just retired from DPS. I'm at Wayne County Community College.
Okay, Jackie's at Wayne County Community College, retired from DPS. I stand to be corrected. Okay. We know the school year brings apprehensions for many students and their parents. What we like to do is make that transition from summer vacation to returning to school easier for all concerned. Easier for the teacher, the student, and the parent. So let's dig right in now. Miss Wilson, tell me this. Is the district offering full-day pre-K and kindergarten?
The district has a wonderful early childhood program. We begin our preschool at the age of 4. Students must be 4 by September 1st. Students may enter kindergarten if they are 5 by December 1st. It is an all-day program, so we do offer Montessori as well. All of them are free and all day, which is a great help, not only to the parents but to the children, because we are able to intervene early.
Okay. All right, then, you've got that age where you can bring the student to school.
Yes.
Now, I just want to say this. We've got 3 teachers here, so we're going to ask questions and just chime in, because I know that you all have the answers. But tell me, teachers, educators, does the student have to enroll in the school where they reside?
No. No, they got rid of that years ago when they started having problems with DPS enrollment, okay? And you start having suburban schools that started fighting for our kids, okay? And a lot of the kids were leaving and going into other school districts. So they had to like kind of jump on board, and then you got target schools now where they're making them exceptional high schools, that they're allowing them to enroll into those schools. They no longer have to be within the community, the area. So they can enroll into those schools outside of that community, that neighborhood.
Okay, did you ladies have anything to add to that?
But when they enroll outside of the neighborhood school, the district will not provide transportation.
Okay, so they won't provide transportation.
So it's the parent's responsibility to make sure that the child arrives at school.
Okay, but, you know, we want you to bring that student to Detroit Public Schools, am I right?
Oh, yes.
Right, we want you to bring them to Detroit Public Schools. But Lenore, I know you have a couple of questions that you like.
I have a question for Sharon.
Sure.
Okay. Do you have, is there a bullying policy at the schools? I know there's a lot of bullying that is going around
yes,
on every level.
It's part of the student code of conduct.
Right.
You can be suspended if you are caught engaging in bullying. So it is a violation. How would you know?
I mean, how do you know a student's being bullied? They come to you, or a parent calls you, or because I understand that sometimes the student doesn't say anything, and it can kind of become a big
Sometimes
problem.
it's observed by staff members, teachers, counselors, other students may report it. And once it's reported, we must act on it. And when we say act on it, we will call the student in, try to get some information, investigate, call the parent, provide social services with the counselors and what have you, social worker, to avoid issues, because we all know that it does not stop. If it does not stop, the child eventually will be backed against the corner and
Right.
react, and that's how we get all these mass shootings.
So we want that parent to let the student know if something's going on like that. You know, let the school know, let your teacher know, let your counselor know.
Right.
If I could, the support staff, we work as the school counselor, we work hand in hand with our school social workers, and we have no bully zone pledges, and we do month-long activities in the school, in the classroom, to be proactive. Of course, we know that children will be children, and sometimes that means they will be mean to one another. However, we have open door policies as the support staff, as the child's advocate, the school counselor, and the school social worker. And so we want to know about the issue so that we can address it first. A lot of times we find that it's not so much of a bullying as in it just maybe a one-time occurrence. And you can kind of head those things off. But things that go on over time, yes, we would like to intervene first. A lot of times kids are afraid, they don't know who to tell, especially if they're new to the school, and they will just go home and tell their parents. But it will eventually end up in our hands,
Okay.
and we do have good systems in place to deal with that.
And I'd like
Okay.
to talk about some of the warning signs for parents. If your child comes home and they say to you, well, Mom or Dad, what if, if they start this what if conversation with you, or if they're constantly sick, I have a stomach ache, I don't want to go to school today, can I stay at home? Or if they have difficulty sleeping. Those are some of the signs that will give you a little pre-warning.
But bullying, that's a topic that we can have a whole show on.
Yes.
We can have a whole show on that, but we want to let that parent know and that student know when they walk in school that first day, do they have to have their uniforms? Is the school offering vouchers? Do they give vouchers now for uniforms? If so, is it for a certain grade? Because as we all know, our parents, a lot of times, they experience lack of having money.
Yes.
Of course.
And the first thing is not getting uniforms. It's putting some food on the table. But how can we help that student to get a uniform?
A lot of times, the school always have orientations day where they come in and the students learn about the uniforms, but sometimes students don't. They're not going to send you home on the first day just because you don't have a uniform, okay?
Okay, how many days do they give you? Because I remember now the student had to have a uniform by a certain time.
Absolutely.
Miss Wilson.
And
Yeah.
Ms. Ross, when you served at Spain School as our attendance officer, and a fantastic attendance officer, she
Thank you.
was and still is.
Yes,
I
yes.
might add. Ms. Ross provided vouchers for my students to receive free uniforms. And they still do that, especially for students that are homeless. So if
Okay.
students are homeless, they're able to fill out the McKinney-Vento forms and receive assistance that way, either transportation through free bus cards and uniform vouchers. However, my school and many schools around the city have a uniform closet where we accept gently used uniforms. Sometimes organizations will donate uniforms to the school. And of course, we do exhaust those supplies.
Right.
Just yesterday, I was at my school receiving some free, brand new uniforms from Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated.
Oh,
So
good.
organizations will donate. If you just kind of reach out as school staff and as church members, and just if you have not because you ask not, right?
Right.
And so I'm always asking for children because they can't get enough, and that's just my personal opinion. And so I do have, and I know many schools across DPSCD, they do have a clothing closet.
Okay. Now, Jackie, you have a question?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Or a comment?
A comment. One of the things with working is that you have to have a really good administrative staff. Okay, if your administration staff is sorry, you're gonna have some issues. Okay, if they're not on the ball and they're not compassionate to students, to staff, and the teachers, you have issues. Okay, and a lot of times it doesn't get resolved in a timely fashion. And so that's another thing that parents have to deal with. Go in, meet the administrator, the administrative staff to the office, or introduce yourself, and you have to be vocal. If there's some problems, you have to state them. So parents have to be up on their P's and Q's and not just wait until the student come home, their child come home and say something. They have to look around and see the support that the child can be given, or the teachers in the classroom.
But I can add to that, Jackie, not only you parents, but as Miss Wilson and Miss Dennis, I was a vocal person.
Yes.
As an employee of the district, as a teacher, I was vocal. If my student needed something or I saw something, I went to whoever. And audience, I got one of those I don't care attitudes, because I'm going to say what I got to say. But tell me this, Lottie, is the school district providing books for students?
Yes.
Okay.
They have books. As a matter of fact, we just switched over the old code all of those old books are out. Teachers were packing them up, stacking them, and they were removing them, and we got all new books since we have a new
okay.
superintendent and everything.
Oh,
So
that's
yes,
good.
we have, well, I know we have books. The majority of the schools have books.
Okay, now can the student take those books home?
Some of them, yes, yes.
And let me add that most of the books are online,
Oh, okay.
so they don't have to take them home if they don't want to.
Okay, but for those who don't have a computer,
Yes, they can take
yeah,
the book
then they
home.
can take the
Yes.
books home.
Yes, they do.
Okay, now, I remember when a student took a book home, if they lost a book or the book was damaged, are the students responsible for, paying for that book, or how does that work now?
Yes, they have to be responsible, the parent or someone, because if they just go, everybody's losing a book, then we don't have any books, so you have to give them some accountability.
Okay, so they're
replace it.
responsible for
Yes.
replacing that book?
Yes.
And some of those books are very expensive.
Yes, yes.
$50, $60, you know.
Wow, wow. You know, Ms. Dennis, tell me, as a teacher, well, as an administrator for the school district, and you went, you're back as a teacher, a high school math teacher, do you feel you have the tools and resources you need to do great things?
Yes, I feel I do. I've had to purchase a few things, but the majority of the things that I needed, the hardcore things like the textbooks, the smart board, the computer cart, calculators, things like that, I have, and the district has provided that. But my little bitty things that I want in my classroom, extra pencils and, I bought a DMI cord and smart board pens and things like that. The little bitty fine tuning things that I personally wanted for my students or projects that I wanted to do with my students, I've had to go into my pocket for that. But the basic needed things I have, as far as Xeroxing, textbooks and things like that, I have that.
Okay, so you feel that, how do you feel? Do you feel the district and also do you have what you need?
You're an art
Well,
teacher,
I am an
correct?
art teacher, yes.
That's a little bit different,
And so
yeah.
I do collect a lot of things. And I'm always looking and searching for more things. The district, they give us a certain amount, but we still need more. So I'm open. I accept donations, gifts. We just, wherever, we
Okay,
accept
now
it.
Lottie, what school are you?
I'm over at Carver STEM Academy.
Okay, she's over at Carver, and you heard it. For you Carver parents,
That's right.
she will accept donations. She
Yes.
will accept donations.
Absolutely. That's,
Well, we
Well, not just for Carver parents, whoever else want to donate, right? Whoever.
Right, but our parents, I want you to hear her. We know anybody else can donate, but parents,
Yes, parents, please, we are open. We can accept just about anything because art is just all over. It's just everything. And there's different types: drawing, sculpture, ceramics, fashion design, you name it. We're still in school, so we work on products, just about everything. So check with your employee, and I'm pretty sure they'll be open for it,
Ms. Wilson,
for what you have.
I have a question for you.
okay.
Can you tell me how are days structured in school? Like kids going from class, like say for instance, a kid come from elementary school and they're just in one classroom, right? And then they're changed schools and maybe they move from class to class. How are the days structured?
The day is structured.
And how can a parent help?
How can a parent help? Okay, good. We have a breakfast program. This year, breakfast is being cut down to 10 minutes. That's very important for parents to know because we have a new curriculum that is very demanding. And so there can't be so much time in the consuming of breakfast. So breakfast is now condensed down to 10 minutes. Our new superintendent believes in bell-to-bell instruction, meaning that teachers will be teaching, everyone will be working, from the time the bell rings to the time the bell ends. Our ELA program, our English Language Arts, requires a huge block of uninterrupted time. So about 2.5 to 3 hours of uninterrupted English and language arts, and we know our children need that because they are expected to read, and especially with new Michigan legislation where students are required to read by grade 3. And so then from there we have lunch. You may have gym, art, music. At my school, you could have dance, you could have violin, orchestra. So it just depends on what school you are, the type of electives. You may have foreign language. Just depend on your school, the elective that you will have. And then back for mathematics, science and social studies, and dismissal. So the day is roughly 7.5 hours. Parents can help by, number one, being aware of the parent portal. DPS has paid a lot of money for the parent portal where parents can have real-time access to the teacher's grade book. So there's no more wondering the child's grade, the child's missing homework assignments. Parents can log right in and see what is going on with the child in class. So number one, using that parent portal is very important.
Absolutely.
Also, coming to volunteer during lunchtime, because we definitely need help in the cafeterias. That's all across the district. Coming to parent-teacher conference, critical. Attending open house, chaperoning field trips, anything that demonstrates to the child that the parent is just as concerned and is bought into that child's educational process. That's half of the battle, because once the child, absolutely, once the child realizes that the parent has an expectation for high progress and growth, then the child will try to meet it. So just, parents can buy in definitely and help that way.
And in closing, I would just like to say that at home, the parents need to set up a routine. Start the first to second week of school by allowing your child to go to bed on time, 10 to 15 minutes early each day until you reach the bedtime. And also waking up. Get them on time, get them up on time so that they can get to the school for breakfast and not miss that part of getting the nutrition that they need. Again, have a space for them to do homework. Don't just ask, can you do, or did you do your homework? Check it, sign it, initial it, do something to let the child know that you're being accountable as well. So we need that support at the home. Yes.
Ladies, we have so many questions, and it's so important to get this information out to our audience, because school will be starting in a few weeks. Yes. So tell you what, we're going to do a part 2. Is that all right with everyone?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, but parents, for too long, the passion of the student and the teacher has been ignored.
Yes.
It has been ignored. But we're going to do something about it. So viewers, if you are in the need of prayer, or you just want to let us know that you saw the show today, please call or text 313-657-5556 or email us at gwealths111@gmail.com. And I want to thank our guests for being here today. And each of us wish you a great week. And remember, God loves you, and so do we. Yeah. So until next week, remember, always keep moving forward. See you next week. You enjoy Always Moving Forward with Renee.
moving forward.
What's up, everybody? This is your girl, Vicki Winans, and you're watching Bell Global Network.
My name is Mike Duggan, and I'm watching the Bell Global Network.
Hey, keep it locked. It's your boy D. Hattie watching the Bell Global Network. You know how it is.
Hi, I'm Charlie Langton, and you're watching the Bell Global Network.
Hi, this is Martha Reeves, and you're watching Bell Global Network.
Hi, everybody. I'm telling you, everything that happened to me that was good, God did it. I'm Evelyn Turrentine, AG, and you're watching the Bell Global Network.
This is Pastor D. Alexander Bullock of Preachers of Detroit, and you're watching the Bell Global Network.
This is Bishop Edgar Van of Second Ebenezer Church in Detroit, Michigan, and you're watching the Bell Global Network.
Hi, I'm Bernadette Stanis. You know me best as Thelma from the TV show Good Times, and you are watching Bell Global Network.